General objectives of EDU-ARCTIC projects are to encourage interest in STEM education. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In many countries, we do not use this form STEM education. We use mathematical and natural sciences, for instance. But generally, it's about natural sciences and earth sciences mainly. We also want to provide a program which is accessible to all schools from Europe. Maybe also some schools from abroad will join us at the end of the project. We would like to open it wider. And we want to establish strong links between science, between what is going on in scientific institutions, in research, mainly concentrating on polar research, and between education and schools in Europe. We are working together in partnership. We have 6 partners on board from 5 countries, and 4 scientific stations in polar regions are with us. And just to introduce shortly EDU-ARCTIC, I will present a short video. This is about 2.5 minutes long only. So if you haven't seen that, I hope you will enjoy this movie.
The Arctic is a beautiful and unique part of the world, a fascinating and mystical place. The EDU-ARCTIC partnership, consisting of 6 organizations from 5 European countries, hopes to use interest in the Arctic to encourage European students to pursue careers in the vitally important subjects of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The Arctic is a region filled with opportunity. However, the Arctic needs a well-trained professional workforce with the right scientific and technical skills to help the region grow and prosper in a sustainable way. And what happens in the Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic. The changes currently taking place in the region due to climate change are influencing weather and climate patterns in the rest of the world. Conducting scientific research in the Arctic is necessary to understand how these changes are going to affect our everyday lives. The EDU-ARCTIC program has 5 components. The first component is a series of online lessons. These lessons, given by scientists working at Arctic research stations, are virtual classrooms, connecting students directly to scientists who are working on exciting research projects. Next are Arctic competitions. Students and teachers from schools across Europe will be able to win a trip to visit an Arctic research station and take part in the scientific research being carried out there. Teacher trainings are another component of the program. 3 different forums will be held across Europe where teachers can learn how to effectively use the tools of the EDU-ARCTIC program in their classes. Then there is the environmental monitoring system, where students and teachers at participating schools will carry out citizen science, collecting data and information about the environment throughout the school. And finally, there's Polarpedia, a multilingual encyclopedia that explains polar phenomena and scientific terminology. The EDU-ARCTIC program is available for students and teachers at all European schools, and the tools are freely available thanks to support from the European Union.
So this was about the project in general and in short, and now we go through all the components that we propose for schools. So as you probably know, our tools are accessible from our website, eduarctic.eu, and when you choose program, then additional information on these 5 components are presented. So first, online lessons. This is the most important, I think, part and the most accessible. Online lessons will be provided through this Cisco WebEx tool. So we wanted you also to try this tool before you start with classes to make you feel comfortable when you are with your students and having this lesson, just to know how to use chat, how to connect to audio, how to use video, etc. So just to give you this opportunity, we decided to have this introductory, and it will be exactly the same tool. So it will be probably easier for you after this webinar that we've got. So the classes will be generally proposed to all participating schools. The number of places is limited to 23 schools at one lesson, but if the interest will be bigger, then we also probably improve our license with Cisco WebEx, and then even more schools could participate at one lesson. Those classes will be conducted by Arctic researchers and scientists from various institutions in Europe, mainly from our 4 stations that are operating, but also some other institutions involved in scientific research concerning polar regions and mainly the Arctic. We would like to propose a lot of different topics, so it won't be not only about geophysics, which we are concentrating mainly as the Institute, but also some biological issues, information on animals and plants, which we found from the surveys that we conducted before the program preparation that were of most interest among teachers. But also some information on indigenous people, so people living on Greenland, for instance, or in Siberia in traditional way, and how they are dealing with very severe climate conditions, etc. So we will do our best to propose as many various subjects as possible. So not only to fit to geography or physics, but also biology, chemistry, or in some countries when you have science as a subject, then it's a perfect proposal for science classes. On our website, in this program part, when you go to online lessons, you may find the calendar of all lessons scheduled. For the beginning, we've got January filled with lessons, and when you look at the lessons, and one important information, I hope it will be clear after this webinar, that all time proposed in lessons is in universal Greenwich time. So generally during winter it's 1 hour plus, and during summer it will be, after the change of time, we will have plus 2 hours. So always have it in mind that you need to calculate. I gave time for Poland, but of course for Romania, for instance, it's plus 2 hours now, and it will be plus 3. Whereas for Great Britain, it will be the time that is presented. When you go to the particular description of the lesson, you may find also link to calculate your time zone. So just to be sure that you know exactly when this lesson starts in different countries. And when you go to the description, you may see also information on the language. So mainly the classes will be in English, but there will be some also national classes, and some Polish lessons are already scheduled. But if you want to have national lesson, and of course if we are able to provide it, so if it's in the partner countries, partner languages, so it's Polish, German, French, Icelandic, Faroese, Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish. Those languages we speak, and generally in those languages you may have lessons dedicated to your classes. What is important, we would like generally to have at least 10 schools for the national lesson, but you may arrange on our Edu forum, after you log into the portal, you may make a topic on the lesson in Swedish, for instance, and then to find out if there are other schools also interested in that, and try to arrange proper date, and then to apply for such a lesson in national language. If you are not if it's not comfortable for you that some scientific vocabulary will appear during such lessons in English, we propose also Polarpedia, which is an encyclopedia about the Arctic region, but it's also a dictionary. So we will do our best. It's coming soon. So within 2 or 3 weeks, we should be ready with Polarpedia. And Polarpedia will be dedicated to those terms that are connected to online lessons. So if we are presenting a lesson, for instance, on mass balance of the glacier, then some vocabulary connected to glacier in those languages that we use in our partner countries will be also presented in Polarpedia. So there will be generally help for you to prepare before the lesson to get familiar with all vocabulary. And of course, if you are if you don't understand something, just feel free to communicate on chat and to ask about some expressions that are appearing during online lessons. So we generally encourage you to communicate with us and with scientists who will be delivering lessons, also to communicate on chat. If you want, because there is a question, if you want to ask for a specific topic, there is also opportunity that if you find other classes that are interested in this topic, and at least 10 schools will say, okay, that's interesting for us and we would like to enroll for such a lesson, then you may send us information using support. So generally, if I will show you how to use it. I will share my screen with you with information. If you go to program, then you've got this information about particular components of the program. You've got EduForum here. So if you go to EduForum, you may see, for instance, online lessons. And there is this information that we encourage schools to request for online lessons, providing language, dates, or subjects. And if at least 10 schools are interested, then we will provide these lessons for you. And if you want to send us information, for instance, about lesson you choose, about the topic, there is this question mark on the right side. And if you click on it, you may choose the subject and you may send us information, for instance, that you are very curious about polar bear and you would like to have lesson on polar bear or little oak or anything that you find interested. And then we will try to answer your request, of course. I'm coming back to the presentation. So Polarpedia will be divided into 9 general big topics: ice and snow, climate and weather, people and society, atmosphere, animals and plants, seas and oceans, land and geology, space, and career resources. So for those who are interested, for those students who are interested in careers in STEM. There is an example how one term may look. This is calving. So this is a special phenomena dedicated to glaciers, and also with some pictures and movies. If it's only possible, we provide it also for your preparations before lesson. The other component is Arctic competitions. It's a chance to win a trip to Arctic stations. We will be organizing 2 editions of these Arctic competitions in 2017 and in 2018. And any students from secondary school from Europe may take part in that. And generally, you are you are working as a team. So one teacher, one student. And those 4 places will host our winners. So in 2017, winners will go to Iceland and to Faroe Islands, whereas in 2018 to Svalbard, it's Polish Polar Station in Hortsund, and to Norway, it's Nibjosvanholt station. And I know that competitions are generally very interesting, as the prizes are really good. So in a few days, exactly on 10th of January, we will announce exact rules of the competition. So right now you may go to the Arctic competition section and read a little bit about competition. But on 10th of January, so next week, Tuesday, we will announce detailed information and short guides how to submit your proposal. And the deadline also will be announced in this announcement next week, but in a moment I will show you some important dates just to be prepared. So as I mentioned, Arctic competition is for teams, for one student and one teacher. Teachers are helping students with preparation, but the idea should come from students. So it's not like teacher is coming with a very good idea and presenting it and using students just to fulfill the criteria, but it should be students' work. And we had also some questions, if it's possible that one teacher is providing a few teams and few projects. Yes, it's possible. Every time you are through the portal, you are making a new application. So with different students. If you have a few very good interested students, then it's also possible. And you should generally develop projects in 2 categories. One is innovation project and one is research project. All these details will be described next week, Tuesday, on our website. So you will go through this and also you will see submission guides. But I promise you to mention these important dates. So generally announcement is next Tuesday, and then you will have time till the end of 1st of March, so till midnight, to deliver your project summary. It will be delivered electronically. Then, and it is the first application is only with the summary, but till 20th of March, also the end of the day, you need to deliver full projects electronically. And we will have time to evaluate the project and also to have some interviews online with students. And we are planning to announce winners not later than on 5th of May. And first week of August 2017, these 2 expeditions to Faroe Islands and to Iceland will take place. There are 3 different types of projects, so 2 categories, research and innovation project, but then how to deliver it. It could be an essay, it could be a video, or it could be a poster. So it's up to your students, what would you like to present. The first step is very important to write really good summary of the project. It's only about 1 page, so it's not long, but it should be really appealing because we will be selecting 50 projects for further steps only on the basis of summaries. So please make sure that students are really preparing very good, appealing, interesting summary. And there are 4 steps of evaluation of the project. So first step is submission of summary. It's done by you, so students are delivering you materials, but you are only active on portal. So you need to be logged in, and you make this submission, giving students name, age, and information on this summary and category of the project. And then you've got additional 20 days to to submit the full proposal, so essay, video, or poster, and it's only also done by teachers. Stage 3 is selection of up to 50 projects based on summaries, so that's important to have this summary really good one. And then no action is required from your side. Only it's by our side, and jury consisting of representatives of our partners and polar stations will decide which projects to choose. Then we will choose 12 projects for online interviews. So 12 projects with the best scores will be taken, and with those 12 participants, we will meet online. And we will have some interviews, and basing on both points from projects made electronically, plus this interview, altogether we will have these 6 winning teams, and they will go to our station. And in 2018 we will have the second edition. We may change categories. We will decide, seeing how good projects were prepared for each category. So it's not sure that the categories will be the same, but we will announce it at the end of 2017, and then in January, February there will be time to submit new applications. So generally you may take part in both editions if you want. Another component is training sessions for teachers. We plan 3 educators forum. We would like to work on our different modules, to present them in details, but also to get your feedback about the project, what we may improve, how you are, so just to ask you to share your good practices, how you are using EDU-ARCTIC project, and what is it changing, how is it changing attitude of your students to STEM education. And we are planning those 3 workshops in Poland, in Warsaw, in France, and in Norway. So it's up to teachers which location suits them best. And it will be September, October 2017. We are planning to announce it not later, but in April, and announcing the exact date. And there will be some grants also for travels and accommodations. So if you want to participate, please look at our website for more details, because it will be probably on the first come first served basis. So it's good to be updated and to try to apply as first. So these grants for travels will be dedicated to teachers from various countries. We would like to have as many countries represented as possible on each of the forums. So generally, we will see after applications how many grants we may give, but we will try to have at least one representative of each country applying to come. The last component is monitoring system. It's also under preparation, so we are hoping to start with monitoring system in end of January or February, and it will be a program to monitor some meteorological elements and some biological ones. It will be reported weekly, so only once a week we will ask you to report. And there will be some actual values. We will ask you to report them on Monday, like air temperature, cloud cover, atmospheric precipitation, fog and mist, and wind force. So something that you are able to observe, and no very complicated equipment is needed. So, for instance, you will need a thermometer, but not a full meteorological station. So, we wanted, composing this element, we wanted schools to be able to make these observations and reporting, not having special equipment, so only observations, and we will also provide you with manuals, so how to report on each element. We will have also some observations of phenomena, so it will not be actual value, but since the last observation. It will be if lightning or extreme atmospheric phenomena occurred, some atmospheric phenomena like aurora, rainbow, glaze frost. Is there ice on lakes? Is there ice on rivers? And is there snow cover? So you will also have manual for that values, and it will be generally yes or no answer. And we will have some biological parts, so plants monitoring. You will need to report when first leaves grow, then flowers bloom, or then leaves fall for only five plants. And additionally, insect monitoring, bumblebee, mosquito, and observing migration of birds. In this case, goose, because they are migrating north or south depending on location of your school, of course. And some statistics. At present, we have 163 schools from 20 countries. Poland is dominating because we've got a really big network of schools from our previous project, EduScience, but there are also some other countries very active. Congratulations, Romania, 22 schools, and Lithuania, Bulgaria, also more than 3-4 schools, and some others are mainly one school representing. But we started, as you know, with recruitment only in December, just before Christmas. So we are hoping that we will get much more soon. Now, when you are speaking how to work with our portal, if you log into the portal, you may click on profile. It's the second from the right. And what you may find there, all the lessons you are already enrolled. So all the information you don't need to remember, or you don't need to write down after enrollment. Just you will have it all in your profile. So you may see also this information for enrolled. So the link to the lesson, information if you need to prepare something like print a worksheet for students, or if we have Polarpedia operating, then some information what you can see before the lessons in Polarpedia, or maybe to watch a video before the lessons to prepare better for the lesson. So all this information will be in lessons in the part information for enrolled. You've got also information on activities in EduGame. About EduGame, I will tell you a little more in a moment. So there is information on your position and your points, and also information for what you got those points. And now exactly EduGame. So we decided that we would like to give you some extra EDU-ARCTIC points and some prizes. First 3 teachers with the highest number of points will have online lesson dedicated from Polar Station in Horsul or from Arctowski Antarctic Station. Both stations are operated by Polish institutions, but you will have opportunity to have classes dedicated to your students only. So then you may not only use chat, but also communicate through microphone, and you may choose what date, what time. If you have anything like picnic, educational picnic at your school, or some festives at your schools, you may also ask that this broadcast will be on that day as a part of your festival or picnic. So then it will be absolutely up to you when and how and on what topic, if only we are able to provide this topic for you. And this is the first three, but as we know, as we have over 160 teachers, it's not that easy to be the first three, but the top 50 teachers and top 10 schools will get special certificate for innovative educators or for innovative institutions regarding if it's teacher or school. And on the portal, you may find also information on top 5 teachers, schools, towns, and countries. Information about teachers is only those top 5, but for others, for schools and towns and countries, you may see the full leaderboard, so you may know exactly the rating of your schools, for instance. If there are more than one teacher from one school, if you put the same name while registering, then the scores will be dedicated to your school. So a few teachers may act for and may win EDU-ARCTIC points for the same school. If you are teaching in 2 schools and you would like to get scores for both schools, then the easiest way is to register twice, and for each time have this different school and with different email address. So if you have questions about that, how to do with 2 schools that you are teaching, you may also write me an email about that and we'll explain that in detail. How can you get the points for EduGame? For each online lesson that you are participating, you will get 40 points. For every survey about lesson, you will also have 40 points. About the survey, I will tell you in a moment, but we are generally very keen on having your feedback, so to make our lessons and our proposal better and better. So that's why we are also giving you scores for surveys. For Arctic competitions, you will also get scores. For every application, 50 points. If your student gets to the next stage, so there are three, in fact, stages of this competition. For each stage, you will get 100 points if your student is successful. And if student wins, so the final step, you've got 200 points. And if you take part in the survey about Arctic competition, then you will have also 40 points. Teacher workshops and training sessions, for participation in such a training, you will get 200 points. And if you fill in the survey, you will have 40 points additionally. For monitoring system, once you register, from the very beginning after registration, you will have 50 points. So this monitoring is coming soon. So if you register, then you will be probably in this top 50 just after registration, for the time being, of course. And then for each regular participation, so for each report, you will get 10 points. There will be also some EDU-ARCTIC survey. For big survey, which is general survey, so-called, and I will explain in a moment, you will have 200 points, because it's really important for us to evaluate the whole program in total. And one more thing, when you may get points, it's EduForum. EduForum is for registered teachers, so if you want to share your thoughts about lessons or about competitions, any topic dedicated to the components that we provide, you may find there, and you may just use it as a sharing experiences forum. And for each time you will get these 5 points. Okay, and the last big point that I would like to describe is evaluation. We will have a few different kinds of evaluation survey. They will be mainly done through internet, so you will be sent an invitation to participate in the survey. You will also see each survey in your profile. When the surveys are ready, you may always come back to that and then see, not send it to us once more time, but just to see your answers. And so the first one is entry and after skills assessment. So it's about assessing what your students can do at present, what they know about the Arctic. But no worries. We do not expect that students will have special knowledge dedicated to some nature, geography, history, or politics in the Arctic. We will provide these facts during the whole course of the program, but we would like to assess the basic level, so before the program starts. So this the first entry assessment will be sent to you next week. So just expect that probably on Tuesday, Wednesday, you will get this survey from us. And each new school will also have it after registering when they come later to us. And we will have at closing our program, we will have the final one, so in 2 years' time generally. So there is still time to rest between the surveys. And there are three main categories: STEM skills, knowledge about science and scientific research and career. So generally, what do your students know anything about scientific career, and is there an option? Do they heard how scientists work, etc.? And the third category is about facts on the Arctic. But as I said, no worries. If you assess that there are only basic information, just like from general geography lessons, it's absolutely okay. The next survey is, we will have some surveys during the project. So main survey, which will be conducted twice. The first probably in January 2018, so in a year, and then after finishing our program in 2 years' time in winter 2019. And we will ask you about technology and various modules of EDU-ARCTIC portal, so how the portal is working for you. And we will also ask about the impacts of the project on your pupils. So is interest in polar research rising? Do they understand more? Do they know more? Are also skills? Are there also skills improvements? We'll have very short online lesson survey and Arctic competition survey and workshops evaluation, but it will be like 5, 8 questions, so not a long survey after each event. So after each online lessons, you will be requested to fill in the survey. It's not obligatory, so it's not you are not obliged to do that in order to take part in another lesson, but we of course encourage you to fill the surveys because we want to know your feedback, and it's crucial for us to prepare better and better for lessons. And also you will get scores for EduGame with this service. And I will show you online lessons evaluation form. It's 8 questions. In fact, it's 6 questions plus 2 boxes for suggestions for changes and improvements, and suggestions of topics for coming transmissions. So if you are expecting any topic to come, it's a good place to put here. And these 6 questions are about was it interesting? Was it understandable? Was the form proper? And about some technical parts, and general question about effect on the growth of interest. Proszę w tej chwili nie wchodzić, dobrze? Ja mam growth of interest in STEM among your students. So there is nothing to be worried about, but very needed for us material to work on. There is also our website. We will try to promote some lessons through the website. So in latest news, you will find out more about the project, what's going on, when we are presenting the project, and if we've got any special events, we will also promote it there. And moreover, you may follow us on social media, and anytime that something new is appearing, you may find it on Facebook mainly, but also Twitter or Instagram. You will be also receiving newsletters. All registered users of the portal will be on newsletter list, but don't worry, it will be like once every 2-3 months. So we are not going to spam you about any information in the projects by newsletter. So we will make our best to inform you about what is crucial. So I think the next newsletter you will receive very soon, because we would like to announce Arctic competition. So with this information, you may expect this coming newsletter. If you have questions, you may also contact us in English or in national languages. In all these countries, we've got our representative. So you may find these contacts also on our website in the part contact. As you may see, quite many languages and possibilities to contact us.